Hello and welcome to today's video where we will be discussing the book No Drama Discipline, The Whole Brain Way to Calm the Chaos and Nurture Your Child's Developing Mind by Daniel Siegel and Tina Bryson. For parents, discipline can be a challenging and stressful topic, but what if there's a way to discipline your child that is not only effective, but also beneficial to your child's overall development? That's exactly what this book aims to provide. The authors delve into the science behind child development and behavior and explain how different parts of the brain work together to influence behavior. They then provide practical advice for parents on how to effectively discipline their children in a way that supports their emotional and cognitive development. Here are 5 main takeaways from this book. Takeaway number 1. Your child's behavior is controlled by the brain. A child's brain is like a house that's under construction, which has 2 major parts, the downstairs brain and the upstairs brain. The downstairs brain is also called the reptilian brain. It is more primitive and is well developed at birth, and is responsible for our most fundamental neural and mental operations, such as strong emotions and basic functions like breathing. It is the downstairs brain that causes a toddler to, for example, hit someone when she doesn't get her way. In contrast, the upstairs brain is responsible for more sophisticated thinking, including sound decision-making, regulation of emotions, personal insight, flexibility, empathy, and morality, and is not fully developed until a person reaches his or her mid-20s. When our children are acting in ways we don't like, different parental responses we choose will activate different parts of their brain. For example, if we discipline with anger and threats, we activate our child's reactive reptilian downstairs brain. If we discipline with respect, empathy, and calm, we activate the child's more sophisticated upstairs brain, which will help rein in the reactive downstairs brain, so that the child will be able to engage in calm decision-making and controlling emotions and impulses. We want to engage the upstairs brain rather than enrage the downstairs brain. The more a child uses her upstairs brain, the stronger it will become, and she will become better and better at making good decisions, controlling her emotions, and caring for others. The way we interact with our kids when they're upset significantly affects how their brains develop, and therefore what kind of people they are, both today and in the years to come. Takeaway number 2. Be intentional rather than reactive when disciplining your child. Whenever the child misbehaves, before you respond to the misbehavior, you need to pause and ask yourself 3 simple questions. First question, why did my child act this way? Be a detective, be curious, and look for what's behind the actions. Asking why is my child acting this way? What's my child actually communicating? Try to put yourself in your child's shoes and look deeper at what's going on behind the misbehavior. Is your child too hungry, angry, lonely, or just tired? Second question, what lesson do I want to teach my child in this moment? Such as teaching about appropriate ways to express big feelings. Third question, how can I best teach this lesson? Should I be playful, or should I just stay with my child until she becomes calm again? Takeaway number 3, connect with your child and then redirect her toward more appropriate behavior. The first step should always be connecting with your children. Connect means to connect with your children emotionally and to communicate to them that we are on their side and love them whether we like the way they're acting or not. Connection calms your child down and helps activate an upset child's upstairs brain and moves the child from a reactive state to receptive state, so that she is ready to absorb the lessons we're trying to teach. Connection also deepens your relationship with your children. The message we send them when they act in ways we don't like, but we choose to connect with them first, is that I'm here for you, even when you're at your worst. I've got your back no matter what. Connection is about walking through the hard times with our children and being there for them when they're emotionally suffering, just like we would if they scraped their knee and were physically suffering. All discipline should begin by nurturing our children and attuning to their internal world, allowing them to know that they are seen, heard, and loved by their parents, even when they've done something wrong. How to connect? Before we connect, we must turn down the negative thoughts in our minds. Stop making assumptions or being reactive. Stop worrying about all kinds of possibilities that shouldn't be worried about in this particular situation. To connect, you may first communicate to bring love and comfort. Get below your child's eye level, give her a loving touch or empathetic look. You send the message that you are with her. You may validate her feelings even when you don't like the behavior. We need to let our kids know that we understand them, we hear them, we get it, and their feelings matter. If your child's emotions are exploding, don't explain, lecture, or try to talk her out of her feelings. Stop talking and listen to let your children express their feelings. Once you've listened, reflect back what you've heard, letting your children know you've heard them. That leads back to communicating comfort, and the cycle repeats. The second step is redirection. Once we have connected with our child emotionally and helped her calm herself down so that her brain is in a receptive state and she is capable of absorbing the lessons we're trying to teach, we can then redirect her toward more appropriate behavior. Some specific strategies and suggestions for redirecting your children include 1. Reduce words. Kids usually already know what they've done wrong and don't need a long lecture about their mistakes. So don't overtalk. Less words will carry greater weight. 2. Embrace and validate their feelings. The message we send to our children should be, you can feel whatever you feel, but you can't always do whatever you want to do. 3. Describe. Don't preach or criticize. We can simply describe what we are seeing, and our kids will get what we are saying. Even young children know wrong from right in most situations. So often, all you need to do is to call attention to the behavior you've observed. 4. Involve your child in the discipline and make discipline a collaborative, mutual process rather than a top-down imposition of parental will. 5. Reframe a no into a conditional yes. 6. Emphasize the positive. In emphasizing the positive, you give your focus and attention to the behaviors you want to see repeated, and also encourage those behaviors in the future. 7. Creatively approach the situation. There's no one-size-fits-all discipline technique to use in every situation. Instead, we've got to be willing and able to think on our feet and come up with different ways to handle whatever issues arise. Be playful and even silly sometimes. 8. Teach mindset tools. You may teach your child about the downstairs and upstairs brain and how to activate his upstairs brain to control his anger and frustration next time. Takeaway number 4. Focus on teaching skills. No drama discipline has 2 goals. One is the short-term goal of gaining immediate cooperation and have the kids stop doing something they shouldn't be doing or begin doing something they should be doing. The other goal is a long-term goal, which is about helping the kids develop skills, such as the ability to control their own impulses, the ability to manage their emotions, the ability to consider others' feelings and empathize with people, and the ability to make thoughtful decisions. By teaching them those skills, We can help build our children's brain so that they can make better decisions, handle themselves better in the future, and they will have better relationships, better mental health, and more successful and meaningful lives. Takeaway number 5. Stop using any types of punishments. Why? Because they are counterproductive. The child's attention shifts from their own behavior to the parent's response to the behavior. She no longer considers her own actions at all, but thinks only about how unfair and mean her parent was to hurt her. Spanking also can lead to long-lasting negative impacts on the brain's development. When we inflict physical pain and cause our kids to experience fear, pain, and anger, we activate the lower, reactive, and primitive part of the brain, instead of the higher, receptive, thinking, and more sophisticated part of the brain. When we activate the lower, reactive part of the brain, we miss the opportunity to develop the higher thinking part of the brain. Timeouts are usually used to punish a child. The main thing kids reflect on during punishment timeouts is how mean their parents are to have put them there. They may also feel abandoned and receive the message that when she isn't perfect, mom and dad don't want to be near her. For parents, they miss out on an opportunity to build the child's brain and help develop the child's skills. No drama discipline gives you a whole new way to look at a child's misbehavior. Misbehavior is actually a plea for help with skill building. Those misbehavior moments are not just miserable experiences to endure, but actually are opportunities for you parents to build the child's brain, to create something meaningful and significant in your child's life, and to help your children become good people who are happy, confident, responsible, and even self-disciplined. This book tells you that you really can discipline your children in a respectful and nurturing way, and simply, you can do better. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more educational content like this. Thanks again.